Our second word here is sequence. Sequence. And this one has 2 syllables. C. And I think maybe I better get a little bit darker pen. Sorry. Let's try this one. C. Quince. This is pronounced C. Quince. Sequence. In English words, QU counts as one sound. A Q is always followed by a U in a true English word. So you're really not hearing the U. This E is silent. This one is the E that you're hearing. And then this first one is a long E. So the word is pronounced sequence. And a sequence is a set of steps. And this is a reading vocabulary word. So we're talking about reading paragraphs and stories that have a set of steps in them. You could also describe a sequence as a certain order. And let me jump over here just a second to the examples. And I'm going to give you 2 sets of numbers. And I want you to tell me the one that is in the proper sequence. Which one of those is in a common sequence? It's this one. That's the order that I'm looking for. Now, sometimes the first one can be the correct answer to something, but this one is a common sequence. It's what I would expect to see. The first step comes before the second. All 4 of them come before the 5th. That is what I'm referring to as sequence. These are not in a common sequence. A set of steps, a certain order, is a sequence. And this is a noun. I am going to look for some synonyms. I feel like there should be some that I'm just not thinking of. So I'm going to practice my digital skills and put in the word sequence and then the word synonym. And I encourage you to try this because it lets you get an idea of how this works. Order is one of them, which we already used that one, but we'll put it in here. Series, that's a good one. You see that very often in math. A series is a sequence. There are others, but we'll just leave them there. Let me go ahead and look for antonyms of sequence. I can think of some, but I'm not sure that they would relate to what we're doing. And I don't see any that I want to use. So let's leave that one blank. I do not know of a homophone for sequence. Let's look at this picture, and then I will go back to characteristics. There are 2 sequences here that we could talk about. One of them is pretty obvious. It's almost that stair-step appearance of the sequence going down the line. So the arrows tell me that this is a sequence. The red one is moving to the orange is moving to the yellow to the green, and the green to the blue. So that's it's showing me a series of steps. So that is one sequence that we see here. The other one is a color sequence. Remember, we talked about the rainbow, the order of the rainbow, earlier in one of our vocabulary words. And I gave you the acronym Roy G. Biv. The colors of the rainbow. You have red that moves to orange, that moves to yellow, that moves to green, that moves to blue. And if we finished the sequence, we would have indigo. Remember what indigo is. And then finally violet. So there is a sequence of color that's unfolding here. Just like the sequence of the rainbow never changes. The colors will always be in that order. One of the things that I want you to know about sequence is that it comes with its own keywords. And those are words like first, second, third, and so on. We could go all through the numbers. Those are just some examples. Words like last and after. What's the opposite of last? First. What's the opposite of after? Before. Words like next. Even words like later. Or words like yesterday can help us understand the sequence of a story. So with sequence, we want to learn to look for keywords that help us understand. And this is not all of them. Words like then, that would be a sequence word. Finally, or final, finally. All of those indicate the order in which something occurs. So those are important words to know when you're reading about sequence.